Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel SN Study Station. So today's topic is cost of preference shares. So in the cost of capital, this is the second component that we are going to learn today. So as you already know that cost of capital means cost of acquiring the funds, means whenever we want to acquire capital, we want to get money from somewhere, we have to give something in return. So talking about preference shares. Preference shares is something that means shares, if shares are issued by the company and those are preference shares, means these shareholders are given preference, means whenever the profits will be there, they will get it first. Whenever the profits will be distributed, whenever the profits will be there, so first it will be distributed among the preference shareholders based on their share percentage. That percentage will always be there with the preference shares, and that percentage only they will get as their profit. It means as their dividend they will get it. The profit which is given to the shareholders is called dividend. So whenever the company is issuing shares, preference shares, and the persons who will purchase the shares, they will become the shareholders, and the company will have to give them something in return what they are getting from them. Means the person will purchase the shares, they will give money to the company. So in return of getting that money, the company has to give some benefit to those preference shareholders, and this benefit is dividend. So here are two methods through which we can calculate preference shares. Irredeemable preference shares, we'll see numerical problems on both these methods today. So irredeemable preference shares are there and redeemable preference shares are there. If you remember, in the previous session we have learned about the topic cost of debt. There are also two components for there, irredeemable and redeemable. That means irredeemable means these shares cannot be redeemed until and unless it is company's maturity period. Okay, until and unless it is the company is going to wind up. So they will not get their money. These shares cannot be redeemed. The whole time they will get the fixed dividend what is being allotted to them. But redeemable preference shares means after a certain time period, the person who has taken preference shares, redeemable preference shares, so they can sell their shares, and they will, after a certain time period, they can sell their shares. So there is a certain time period for that. So same way like we have done in the cost of debt, here also we'll do the same thing. Irredeemable means there is no time period. Redeemable, there is a certain time period. After that time period, the shares can be matured, it can be redeemed. And formula also, if you remember, so it is also same. The formula, only this D factor is different. Otherwise, the whole formula is same. So you don't need to learn this formula. If you remember the formula of cost of debt, the same formula is there. Only in the cost of debt, at the place of D, I was there. I divided by NP into 100. But in the preference shares, we have dividend. Like in preference shares, we give dividend to those shareholders. In the cost of debt, there was interest. That's why I was there. Okay. Debt, whenever we take debt, whenever a person takes debt or whenever the company takes debt, so loan it takes or debenture it issues, so on that it has to give interest. It has to pay interest. But now here there is preference shares, so we have to give dividend to those shareholders. So only this is the difference. The all things are same and the process is also same. So it will be very easy to solve. So here cost of preference shares, that means we'll denote it with KP. K is cost, P is preference shares. So KP equals D by NP into 100. D dividend, NP same, net proceeds. Okay. And have one more thing, there is no tax deduction in preference shares. In the cost of debt, if tax is there, then we have to deduct that also. 1 minus T, remember 1 minus T we do. but here tax is not there. So we will not, tax factor will not be there. In preference shares as well as in equity shares, it will not be there. Only in the debt it will be there. So the formula is D by NP into 100. D is dividend, N is NP is net proceeds. And for redeemable preference shares, it is D plus 1 by N RV minus NP divided by 1 by 2 RV plus NP multiplied by 100. So same RV redeemable value, NP net proceeds, and N. So only these two things will be increased from the irredeemable formula. RV redeemable value because value will be given and time will be given, duration will be given, after how many years that value is going to and what value we are going to get and after how many years. So these two things will be increased. Rest all things are same. D and NP. D is dividend, NP is net proceeds. So let's move towards solving the question. So this is the first question. I hope the concept is clear. Now we can solve it, and if you know if you can solve the questions of cost of debt, this is just very easy for you, very easy. So let's see the question. Sanjana company issues 12% preference shares with the face value of ₹100 each at par. Floating costs are estimated at 3% of sale price. Calculate the cost of preference shares. So first we have to identify what is the type of this question, means either it is irredeemable or redeemable. So here, can you see any redeemable value or can you see any time duration? No, correct? So this is the question of irredeemable preference shares. So we have to use the formula KP equals to, here I will write the formula KP, cost of preference shares, equal to D by NP into 100. Simple. Now, what is the given information? What is the information that is given in the question that we have to note down? So first thing, Sanjana company issues 12% preference shares with the face value of ₹100 each at par. Only the value of one share is given only. Okay, 100 rupees each. They have not given how many shares were issued. Okay, so whether we calculate the value of one, whether we take the value of one share or we take the aggregate value after multiplying it with all the shares, so that will be same only, no problem for that. So 12% preference shares issued, 12%. As I already told you that with the preference shares, always there will be a percentage attached with it, and that percentage will show the dividend. So dividend is 12%. 12%. Okay. 12% of ₹100 each. So 12% of ₹100, when we will calculate, we will get 12 only. Correct? 12% of 100, we will get 12 only. Suppose this 100 rupees is the value of one share only. Suppose if they have given us the, let's say 100 rupees is the value of one share, and if they have given us the number of shares 5,000. Okay, 5,000 shares were issued. So it would have been 5 lakh, correct? Means rupees 5 lakh would have been the value. Then on this 5 lakh, we would have calculated 12%, and all the calculations would have been done on this 5 lakh because number of shares if it would have been given. But now as it is not given, so what we'll do here, we'll take this 100 rupees only and we will calculate everything on this. Because there is number of shares is not given, only the share of one value is given. Only the value of one share is given, correct? So this is given. Then this 100 rupees we will take it as net proceeds. And one more thing is here. This 100 is net proceeds, and if you see, floating costs are estimated at 3%. So floating cost, always we will deduct it from the net proceeds. Means this was the value, and from this we will deduct 3%. 3% of 100, that will be 3 only. So we'll get 97. So in this question, only two things were required, D and NP. We got both the things. Just put it in the formula. Dividend is 12 and net proceeds we got as 97 multiplied by 100, and what we'll get here? will get, when you will calculate it, you will get 12.37%. So this will be the cost of preference shares. Okay, so this will be the cost. If the number of shares would also have been given, let's say 5 lakh was net proceeds. So on that 5 lakh, we'll calculate this 3% floating charges and we'll deduct that. And on this dividend, we'll calculate, on 5 lakh, we'll calculate 12% and we will take that value. But as number of shares not given, so we'll take this. So I hope it is clear to you. And see, one more thing, cost of dividend. Cost of preference shares is 12.37%, but preference shares dividend value was 12%. Okay. When the cost is more than the dividend value, so the company should not issue shares. Cost should be less than this. Otherwise, company should not issue it. Means this is the cost. Through this, the company can take decisions. Now let's move to other question. Here, question is given. Anirudh Limited issues 9% preference shares of rupees 100 each. Here also, net proceeds 100 is given. Okay, and 9% preference shares, that means dividend is 9% of 100. 9% of 100. Here also number of shares is not given, so we'll take everything on this 100 only. So 9 is the dividend. Then at par, it is redeemable at 10% premium. So it is redeemable. Redeemable value is given. So on this 100 rupees, we will add 10% because it is on premium of rupees 10%. So on this 100 rupees, we'll calculate 10%, we'll get 10 only and we'll add it. So 110. After 10 years, it can be redeemed. So this is the question of redeemable preference shares. I hope you got it. Okay, same only. All things are same. Now, these all information are given here. Now we'll take the formula. It is a question of redeemable preference shares. So we'll use this formula. D divided by D plus 1 by N RV minus NP divided by 1 by 2 RV plus NP into 100. So what we'll get here, dividend is 9, N is 10, redeemable value 110, NP 100 and 1 by 2 110 plus 100. When you will solve all these and you will do all the calculations and you will solve this, so you will get 9.52% as the cost of preference shares. So this will be the answer. Don't rely on my calculation. You do it by yourself and match it whether it is correct or not. And I can also be wrong, so you can comment. If something is wrong here, you can comment. You can put the comment, so I'll also get to know if I'm getting wrong somewhere. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Cost of debt, cost of preference share, both the methods are same. Okay, so only the difference is this dividend. In the cost of debt, we'll take interest. In the cost of preference shares, we'll take dividend. And questions also, I think you can identify now. In the redeemable question, time duration will be given and they will give the redeemable value also. But in the irredeemable question, they will not give any time period as well as they will not give any redeemable value. So this is all about cost of preference shares. In the next session, we'll see about cost of equity shares. So you can solve this question. I hope everything is clear. If you have any confusion, you can tell me this also. So stay connected. Thank you for watching.